Light of healing, peace to the gods, peace to the earth. Y'all climb on in, climb on in. How y'all feeling? How y'all doing? Let me turn my mic up just a little bit. Y'all let me know if y'all can see me, and y'all let me know if y'all can hear me. Let me actually turn it on my Facebook to see if we live. Yes, we are live. It's there. Understanding alkaline and acids in the role it plays in cancer. A lot of people are talking about cancer. A lot of people have cancer. So, we finna talk about how cancer works. We're going to talk about alkaline and acids, and we're going to also show how to heal the body of these things. We have a misconception when it comes to alkaline and acids. A lot of people think they know what they're talking about when it's talking about the potential hydrogen scale, and they don't. So we finna get some understanding, overstanding, and understanding. Yeah, I know everybody like, you're finally live. You're finally live. Y'all know I'm always traveling. And when I do go live, they either take my video down, cut it in the middle of me going live, or they shadow ban me. For instance, I was live on Instagram today. They didn't notify anybody when I was live. And then while I was live, they kept pausing the video, man. And I got good internet. My internet is super fast. It's business internet from Charter. So it shouldn't have been no way it was interrupted, but it was. So, we not going to cry about it, but we finna get to it. So if y'all can hear me well, and if y'all can see me well, type in some 9s and we going to get to it, y'all. We going to get to it. Make sure y'all got y'all pens and y'all pads as well, because we is finna get into some chemistry and some cellular biology. Shalom, shalom, hotep, namaste, assalamu alaikum, Islam. All of that good stuff to all of my people in here, all of my beautiful brown skinned melanated people. Shouts out to all of y'all. All right, I'm gonna let a few more people climb in, and we're gonna dive straight in. We're gonna get straight to it. We got to talk about cancer, how to heal your body of cancer. And, for instance, just to let y'all know, all disease that are chronic diseases that go unchecked, that you don't detoxify out of your body, ends up being cancer. Any disease that you can think of, so-called disease, because we know that disease is illusion, but any so-called illness that you can think of, if it goes unchecked, and the cells become so damaged and so backed up with acids that it cannot, get its cellular integrity back. There is no change in it because the cell is going through something called apoptosis. This is what they call cancer. And of course, it'd have to have a pathological entity in it, meaning that it'd have to have a microscopic parasite inside of the cell. This plus the lack of oxygen and the integrity of the cells, or what they will call chronic degenerative acidosis of the cells. Every disease in it, if it goes unchecked, and if you don't start eating right and you detoxify your body. That's the reason why you can have full-blown, you can have full-blown AIDS, and you can get your cell biopsy and they will say you're cancerous. Or you can have 4-stage cancer and they can biopsy your cell and they say you have HIV or you have AIDS when you get tested, because we're talking about the same diseases. All it is the degenerative, deteriorating cell. And once mucus starts filling that cell, because calcium is coming from the mucous membrane to be a buffering system, then we start seeing the crystallization of uric acid, lactic acid, carbonic acid, phytic acid. And we're going to get into all of that today, y'all. This is a late night session. We finna get to it. Make sure your pens and your pads are ready. Yes, a lot of people been doing the 3-bitter challenge. Shouts out to everybody that's buying the 3-bitters and, taking the stands with their health, cleansing their mind, cleansing their body, and cleansing their souls, and just really, getting down to the nitty gritty, getting on an all fruit diet. Just so many good healing testimonies coming from the 3-bitters. Everybody uploading their 3-bitter challenge to YouTube. I'm snatching them off YouTube and having my content creator just use his imagination with it. Then we throw it back up on all of my pages. So I appreciate all of y'all as well. It's good to see people hopping on this trend, and I mean, this is a good trend. It's positive, it's righteous, and it's good for healing the black community. So I'm down with anything that heals our people. All right, peace. Let's get it started, y'all. All right, so let's talk about cancer and what cancer is. Once you truly start looking into cancer, cancer is nothing but a damaged cell. What we must realize is cells become damaged due to acidosis. All right, now the best way to look at this is I tell y'all this all the time, but we're going to go through it slow and we're going to really talk about how these things go. I'm going to pull up my presentation and we just going to walk through this thing while I'm going through it. Every now and then I'll be in and out, but we have to realize that the body is made of cells. A lot of people say they understand and overstand it, but they truly don't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up my presentation and we're going to get to the presentation and then we're going to take it from there. All right, so let me change my screen. Before we actually get to this, I need y'all to put in the comment board, the body is made of cells. Because once you start studying and once you start realizing true cellular biology, I don't care what type of so-called disease you have, you can heal it. So let's see if y'all paying attention. Everybody in my comment board, type in that the human body is made of cells. Once I start seeing that, we're going to get it. The human body is made of cells. And make sure you put hue. Hue, which means color pigmentation. The human body is made of cells. All right, let's get to it, y'all. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about here. Let me share my screen real quick. Bang, there we go. Let me pull this up. Okay, I want to start. Where's a good place? All right, we're going to start right here. Okay, we're going to start right here. All right, now to truly understand cancer, to understand understand and overstand any disease and just the biological functioning, the behavior of any so-called disease, you have to understand one thing, that a human body is made of cells, and these cells come from stem cells, and these stem cells make every different type of other cells in your body. So the body is made of 150 trillion cells, y'all. Out of 150 trillion cells, 100 trillion cells do not even belong to you. They belong to your eukaryotes or your eukaryotes, or what you'll call, prokaryotes or prokaryotes, or what you'll call prokaryotic cells. And these are microorganisms, or what they call the microbiome. These is literally bacterias that come from outer space. All right, that is what makes up 100 trillion of your cells. Then you have 50 trillion cells, because remember the body is made up of 150 trillion cells, and them 50 trillion cells come from the earth, come from the dust of the ground, and these are things that you are made up of. So look, more than half of your body is already made with microorganisms that's not even you. Then 50 trillion cells are made up of what you will call human cells. You put all of these cells together and they make a human body. So you have some cells that make up muscle cells. So when you make a muscle, you're not really using an arm, you're using trillions and hundreds of trillions of cells that make that arm. Like for instance, you're talking about intestinal cells. When you look at your stomach and you look at your abs, or you sit on a toilet and you defecate and you have a bowel movement, you're not just moving your large intestines. You're not just moving your ascending colon and your transverse colon and your descending colon. You're moving cells. These are just happen to be intestinal cells. Same thing with blood. When you get your blood drawn, or you feel your heart beating and you feel them valves are opening up and that blood is flowing throughout your body, feeding the cells oxygen and feeding the cells all the phytonutrients and bioflavonoids and biophotons that it needs to keep a balance of homeostasis. Guess what cells these are? These are blood cells, but yet and still they're still cells. Same thing with sending these melanin transmitters and these nerves, these messages all throughout your body for your limbs and for your fingers and your toes and for your brain to all communicate with one another in unison. These are what you call nerve cells, and that heart that is actually, opening up them valves inside of your chest, cardiac cells. These are still cells. So the whole entire human body is made of cells. Now, these cells can make bones, these cells make up liver, these cells make up kidneys, these cells make up sperm, the cells make up the eggs, the zygotes, the pancreas, the muscles, the heart, the blood, and the brain. You are 150 trillion cells mushed together looking like a fully grown human being, but all of these cells have a mind of their own. All of these cells have a community of their own. All of these cells need to eat. All of these cells need to poop. All of these cells cells need to rest for they can detoxify themselves. So each 150 trillion cells that's in your body, each of them individually is a miniature you. They have to eat, they have to sleep, they have to breathe, they have to digest, they have to do everything that you do. Okay. Now, when you start looking up these cells and you start getting into, what the cells are made of, notice what I said, that each cell makes up a miniature you, right? So we just going to take it here for a minute. Now, when you look at the mitochondria of the cell, if you look down at the bottom left of the corner, it talks about how it acts as a digestive system. Now, the reason why the mitochondria, and if you look at what mitochondria is, it's nothing but bacterium, y'all. Nothing but ancient bacterium that was passed down to you by your ancestors. So the mitochondria is organelles that make up nutrients. It breaks down and it creates energy rich molecules for the cell's biochemical process, also called cellular respiration. So the mitochondria is basically acting like the digestive system and the thyroid at the same time. So your food, so you eat some food, right? And your body end up breaking down this food. And I'm going to take y'all, matter of fact, let's just do this. Let me take you through the actual process and then we go come back to that. That way, y'all, ain't no stone going to go unturned today. Let's do this. This is what we going to do. Let's just start from the stomach, right? We're going to start from the stomach. Let's start from the stomach. So you eat a food, right? You chew the food up, digestion start taking place inside of the mouth. Your salivary gland starts actually producing something called trypsin and amylose. These are alkaline enzymes that's produced by the mouth to start breaking down alkaline forming foods. Notice what I just said, alkaline forming foods. We're starting to understand what alkaline acids is, because you will not understand the role that disease play in life if you don't understand alkaline acids, or what they call base chemistry and what they call cationic chemistry. So whenever you hear cationic, that means acids. Whenever you hear anionic or ions, that actually means base or alkaline. So you eat this food, you chew this food, right? Once you eat it and you chew this food down, it goes down the esophagus. Now, the initial breakdown was the amylose and the trypsin that was produced by your salivary glands, or your salivary glands in your mouth. Now it's going down the esophagus, where millions of mucus is just wrapping it up, getting ready to put it inside what you call the stomach. It reaches the stomach. Now, once it reaches the stomach, mucus mix with these type of pepsinogen, and when mucus and pepsinogen and pepsin mix together, it creates something called hydrochloric acid. And this is what you see inside this stomach sac right now. You see hydrochloric acid. And what this hydrochloric acid is in the stomach for is to start breaking down the food, all right? Because remember, you started out macro. You started eating your nasty hamburger meat. You started eating your chickens. Those who eat clean started eating a raw vegetables, started eating a raw organic non-hybridic fruit. And when you eat these things, you still, I don't care what you eat, whether it's good or bad, you need to break it down into its phytonutrients. You need to break it down to micro, because it started off macro. And that's what the hydrochloric acid inside of your stomach is for. Now, I want y'all to notice all of these acids. Hydrochloric acid. Your DNA is made of deoxyribose nucleic acid. Then what makes up the DNA, or what makes up what you would call a protein, is amino acids. You see that? So proteins is full of acids. See that? So when you look at complex amino acid structures, they're full of proteins. These are tightly bonded and they are protected by an envelope or peptide chains. Now, the thing is, these things are so destructive and so bounded in nature that you need something hot enough to break them apart. And this is where hydrochloric acids come from. All right. And that's why the food is in the stomach. Now, the food is inside of the stomach. This macro food starting to break down into micro food. Once it breaks down into micro foods, it starts to pass a door called the pyloric sphincter. Once it passes this door called the pyloric sphincter, it now goes into something called the duodenum, or what they call the duodenum, right? Now, this is actually where all of the absorption factor happens inside of your stomach. And this is actually where the micro, not the macro, because the macro was broken down by your teeth. The The macro was broken down by trypsin and amylose. The macro was actually broken down by the hydrochloric acid that was being produced in the stomach to make it micro, for you will be able to absorb it inside the bloodstream, and the bloodstream can use itself as a transportation, machine to drop off all these different micro phytonutrients to each individual cell inside the body. Because remember, the body is made of cells. Cells make up organs. Organs make up systems, and this fully grown system make up a full-grown human being. So now we got the micros. Now the micros is sitting in the duodenum. Inside of this 9-inch intestinal small tract, this is where all the absorption happen at. The absorption happening here. These are called the villi. So between each individual villi, you have hundreds of trillions of bacteria just sitting down there waiting to take the goodies and take the micros, use them for fermentation, like candida bacteria, albicans. They take it and they ferment the sugars. Then you have other things like parasites, microparasites that love uric acid and love meat and things like that. And notice the more and more you keep feeding these things, these acid forming foods, they grow bigger and bigger. And then these microorganisms become macroorganisms. Now you got your flukes, you got your threads, you got your pins, you got your tapeworms, you got everything else. But we're going to keep talking about that. And the reason why we have to talk about that is because all cancerous cells come with a parasite. All right. Now, once it goes into these things, it gets inside the bloodstream. Now, while it's inside the duodenum, you got things going to work here. You got the liver going to work. It's taking the amino acids and it's breaking them down and reconstructing them, because a nose cell might need to be rebuilt. A chin cell might need to be rebuilt. A fingernail cell might need to be rebuilt. A muscle cell might need to be rebuilt. And that's what the liver is for. The liver has over 12,000 different functionings that we know of thus far. But we know that one of the main points and purposes of the liver is it's the chemical factory of the body. It takes chemicals and it takes acids and it takes amino acid and it reconstruct them to rebuild the body back up. Then you have the pancreas. Notice all of these are connected to the duodenum, or what we call the duodenum. So the pancreas is there to give the actual food more alkaline, mineralization, for it can calm down the acids, because it just came from being burnt up by hydrochloric acid. So it's hot as hell. So what the pancreas do is it gives the small intestinal tract that we call the duodenum over 4,000 different digestive enzymic reactions. One of them is sodium bicarbonate. And we're going to talk about sodium bicarbonate tomorrow, because that's your sodium, that's your salt. These are alkalining salts and minerals that goes in and wrap these foods up even more to alkaline them before the blood pick it up, because you cannot have acids in your blood for too long, because you would die. It will coagulate, cause all type of leukemia, and it will kill your body. So what the pancreas is there for, it's not only there to just give digestive enzymes. 99% of these digestive enzymes are alkaline digestive enzymes made by hydrogen. Not only is it made with hydrogen, but it's made with oxygen, and it actually made with sodium. Sodium is nothing but minerals that have been converted over by the liver. That's where you get the word bowel salts from. Notice the gallbladder, which holds on to bowel salts. These salts go to the pancreas secreted right inside of the duodenum. So the body is trying its hardest to constantly maintain its pH balance. The body is trying its hardest to maintain its homeostasis, because the body knows that if the body goes more acidic than it does alkaline, this is what causes cancer. All right, now check this out, because it gets deeper, y'all. Now let's go back real fast and get back to it. Let's get back to it. Let me come up out of this. Make sure that y'all got some understanding before we start breaking this down. So if y'all got some understanding, overstanding, and understanding so far, type in some 9s and we finna get to it. Now, the reason why we have to show you that, because if these cells or 150 individual mini U's, and these cells have to eat like you do, these cells have to poop like you do, then that means you have to feed these cells the right phytonutrients, just like you're supposed to be eating good and you're not supposed to be eating bad. All right, make sure y'all hit that like button and share the video, for we can keep these lessons in the algorithm, right? Now check this out, because this is where it gets interesting there, right? So let's go back to the cell. All right, we're getting back to the cell. Now, remember I was talking about the cell have mitochondria. The mitochondria actually act as the digestive part of the cell. Then you start looking and you have the ribosome of the cell. The ribosome actually act as the reproductive system of the cells. This is where amino acid structures are rebirthed from. You see that? You have the endoplasmic reticulum, which act as the endocrine system of the cells that actually make lipids or hormones, secretion, and steroids, and it modifies and transport proteins. This is what, so the cell, every little piece that you look, you have the cytoskeleton, which is the skeleton system. It's called the cytoplasma. This actually is the skeleton structure of the cell. So your cells have a skeleton structure. Your cells even have a bladder called the vacuole. The vacuole literally holds fluids. Then you actually have a digestional tract called the lysosomes, where the lysosomes actually poops and secretes out unwanted waste from the cells. That's the digestional tract. So your cells have a pooping digestional system, or what you'll call the digestive system. The cells have a skeletal system. The cell even have a brain, or what you'll call the melanin dot, or what we will call the gonads, or what they call the testes, where sperm is produced. This is called the nucleus, or the new sun of the cell. And this is the actual thinking faculty of the cell, because it actually synthesizes RNA and DNA, proteins and molecules. So the nucleus of the cells is where the blueprint of the cell is at. How the cell is made, the genetics of the cells, histones, all of that is in the nucleus of the cell. So even the cell have its own testicles. Not only do the cell have its own testicle, it's act androgynous because it has a vagina too called the ribosome, where it births new cells at. So the cell have lungs, a respiratory system. The cells have the endoplasmic reticulum, which is the endocrine system. The cells have the mitochondria, which is basically a respiratory system and a digestive system put together. The cell actually have a vacuole, which is an actual bladder. Not only this, the cell have a nervous system, y'all. It's called the K+ leak ionic channels, y'all, which is the nervous system. And the cell send messengers back and forth to each individual organelle that's inside of the cell. And it's 150 trillion of these things that make up body parts, that make up organs. These organs make up systems, and then these systems make up a full-grown human being. But notice it is all made by cells. All right. Now, this is the interesting part, right? Because when you really, let me take this one off because this is a PNG file. When you start looking how deep this stuff really gets, y'all, the nuclear envelope, the membrane, it says encloses the nucleus, protein lined pores along material to move in and out. So the cells even have its type of movement, like it have limbs and things like that, y'all. The chromatin, or the chromatin, DNA plus associated proteins, the cytoskeleton, microtubules. It says from the, I can't even see these words so small, y'all. I'm gonna blow this up bigger, y'all, and share my screen because I can't see them small words. But anyways, when you look at the organelles that makes up the cells, that's why a body have organs, y'all. So now when you eat food to get energy. So if 150 trillion cells make up you, and you is what eat food to get energy, don't you think that 150 trillion cells need to eat to get energy too? Ooh-wee. Now, if you eat bad food and that bad food make you feel bad, or if you eat acid-forming foods and mucus-forming foods, and these things start burning your body, don't that mean that your cells eat these acid-forming foods and these mucus-forming foods too? So witness acid and mucus suffocate and burn the cells, all because what you putting inside of your macro body, and now it's starting to affect the micro body? Ooh-wee. Now we finna start talking about what cancer truly is. Now, in order to figure out what cancer is, we have to truly start understanding the pH balance of the organelles. Organelles just mean organs that's within inside of the cells. Now, check this out. The pH within a particular organelle is tolerant for a specific function. Now, each individual organ inside of your body have its own pH. And this is going to be very, very important, y'all. Watch. Check this out. It says, for example, lysosome. Now, remember, we just looked at the picture of lysosome. Lysosome is the actual digestive part of a cell. Exosomes and lysosomes is the actual digestive system of the cells. These are your pooping mechanism. And if you have HIV and AIDS, that's all you have. You have a messed up digestive system inside of your cells. That's what causes HIV. That's what causes all these different diseases. Let's quit thinking that HIV come from a laboratory. Now, don't get me twisted. It's a lot of things that do come from a laboratory, like the poop and the shit that they make inside the laboratories to inject inside of your body. But don't get it twisted. The breaking down You see that? The breaking down of the lysosome and exosomes is what gives you that reading on the Western blot test for HIV. All it is strands of stagnated DNA, what you call free radicals, roaming around inside the body because the digestive system didn't do its job and break them down good enough. See that? And the digestive system inside of the cells is called the exosomes or the lysosomes. So if you have any of these diseases like HPV, like herpes, like HIV, like cancer, like full-blown AIDS, stage 4 cancer, that means you have a digestive constipation problem in your cells. Your cells is not pooping correctly. They're not breaking down and digesting these different cells that's supposed to die and be excreted through your kidneys, through your liver, through your urine, through the urethra, throughout the urinary tract properly. So they roam freely inside the body, binding to other cells and actually disintegrating these other cells because it's full of proteins. That's why they say all viruses are protein based. Proteins are made with amino acids. A protein is a complex amino acid structure. So we talking about many polysaccharides, poly chains, polypeptides. Poly mean many, peptide mean proteins. Many proteins is many amino acids. Many acids burn like hell. So if I got a lysosome or exosome inside of my cells that's supposed to act as the digestive system to actually get rid of the polypeptides and get rid of the polyacids, or what we're going to call a complex acid chain, or what they call protein, and it doesn't break these proteins out. Now these proteins are riding around in the body, just creating all type of havoc and burning everything up, because again, proteins is made of many amino acids. Acids burn. If y'all get that so far, type in some nines. If y'all get that so far, type in some nines, and then we finna get to it. See, look, you have to understand eating meat is full of protein, full of acids, amino acids. Don't ever forget that last word, acids. You see that? Many of these things is hard to break down. The hydrochloric acid that's produced by your stomach sac is not, the pepsinogen is not hot enough to break down these complex amino acid chains. And that's why it's so destructive in nature and burning up every damn cell in your body. Now remember, the body is made of cells. So if I kill the cells, then I kill you, because you are a body made of 150 trillion cells. Now check this out, y'all. It says, for example, lysosome have a relatively low pH of 4.5. So now we looking, right? If you look at a potential hydrogen scale, the neutral is at a 7. From 1 to 6 is acidic. All right. From 7 to 14, from 8 to 14 is alkaline. 7 is neutral, is ma'at, is balanced, right? Now, the lower you go down, the actual hotter it gets. All right. Now, we're not talking about, from 6 to 4, it's only 2 points. No, it's go from 1,000 to 10,000 to 100,000. You see that? So when you get to the 4.5 on a potential hydrogen scale, this is damn near 125,000 times hotter than 6 on the potential hydrogen scale. This burns. Now, the reason why the lysosome is relatively at a pH or a potential hydrogen of 4.5 is because it deals with what? It deals with all the byproducts of the cells. It deals with all the acids and the byproducts of you eating your food of the cells, because it's the digestional tract of the cells. It's made to poop out all of the digestion, made to poop out all the byproducts and acids and put it inside of the lymphatic system, because the cells is called the interstitium. It sits on a fluid, and this fluid is called lymph fluid or lymph vessels. And this lymph fluid is alkaline. It's supposed to alkaline the poop, and then macrophages pick it up, take it to something called lymph nodes. These lymph nodes is full of bacteria that's going to chew and break down these acids more. Now, once it disintegrates the acid, it takes the byproducts from that and it brings it to the kidneys. The kidneys and the adrenals process it for filtration, and then you pee it out in the morning or throughout the day. So if the lysosomes and the exosome, which is the digestional tract, the digestive system of the cells, is not working, then where's all that acidic byproduct going? Where's all that acidic waste going? It's sitting on top of the cells. So now we got 4.5 ash just burning the cells because you're cellulally constipated. Ooh-wee. So now the cells is burning itself alive because your cells is not pooping correctly because you're eating the wrong foods. Now check this out. So that's on a 4.5. Additionally, fluorescing or fluorescent microscopy techniques have indicated that the phagocytes, all right, now phagocytes are these big old gnarly bacteriums that's made by the thymus gland that just come through and eat up all the acids, right? Now, let's see what the phagocytes is. Phagocytes have a relatively low internal pH since they're both or degenerative organelles that engulf and break down other substances. So they have to be acidic because they are required to actually eat other cells or eat different micro parasitics or to eat byproducts. So the reason why they're so hot is because they have to literally break down other cells. Same thing that you do with Drano. If your pipes is clogged up, you're gonna go get the most acidic or the most alkaline thing you can find and pour it down the drain, because alkaline burn too if it's too hot. And the reason why the drain become unclogged because the acids from these chemicals that you pouring inside the drain like Drano is going to break apart all of the stuff that was clogging up the cells in the first place. And that's what lymphocytes and phagocytes and stuff like that does. These things are already acidic in nature. Oh, we got to talk about that, because now we got to really start talking about what is the true meaning of alkaline and acids. Again, the body is made of DNA, deoxyribose nucleic acid. That's one. Now, what keeps the DNA strand together, which is acids, you need amino acids. That's two. Not only that, when you start truly getting inside the stomach, we're dealing with hydrochloric acids. All right. Not only that, when you start eating your foods, these foods, the byproduct of it, breaking down this food is going to create lactic acid, uric acid, carbonic acid, nitric acid, sulfuric acid. You see that? Phytic acid. So even your food breaks down to acids. The processes of this heating up just for you to be moving and transporting all of these different lipids throughout the body creates acidic medium. So even though the body was created in base chemistry, the whole functioning of the body is cationic. The whole function of your body is truly acidic. Period. Just by me talking, I'm creating acids. If I eat something, that's going to create acids because it's going to take friction, movement, electricity, carbon burning. Carbon burning is going to create carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide, CO2 constituent chains. This carbon dioxide actually create acidic medium that it leaves behind. There is nothing that you can eat and nothing that you can do inside of your body that's not going to turn towards that acid way. If you are living in your breathing air, that means you're converting and metabolizing something. And if you metabolize something, whether it come in acidic or whether it come in acid, it's going to end up acid. And that's the reason why the lymphatic system must work, because we have to keep these byproducts or these acid forming things out of the body. See that? So I understand mucus forming and acid forming foods, but don't get it twisted. If you are eating alkaline forming foods and your digestive system is messed up, you're not going to alkaline the body, because the byproduct of alkaline food still leaves the ash back, because you have to eat and your cells have to burn up that food, and then your cells mitochondria uses that energy and burn off that carbon for ATP, adenosine triphosphate. The burning of that fuel is going to leave back acids. That's the reason why the cells must poop through the exosomes and lysosomes. If y'all get what I'm saying so far, type in some nines. See, we have the alkaline acid thing all mixed up, y'all. And I know it's popular, but if you don't study it from a biochemical standpoint, you'll be lost in the sauce and you'll be eating alkaline foods and thinking that all you have to do is eat alkaline foods and that's it. No, you have to make sure your lymphatic system is moving. You have to make sure that you have good bacteria inside your lymph nodes. You have to make sure that your digestive system is working properly. You have to make sure that your endocrine system is creating the right type of steroids, the right type of hormones, for you can actually have a buffering system. You have to make sure that your pancreas is working properly for it can actually secrete and produce something called sodium bicarbonate. It ain't just about eating alkaline food, y'all, because you burning and digesting and metabolizing that alkaline food create acids anyway, because it takes heat and friction to do so. See that? Hey, look, we got to get some understanding and some understanding, y'all. And this is why so many people have cancer, because a lot of people don't understand the body or don't understand these systems, y'all. So this just shows you. Now, if the body was properly in a balance of homeostasis, your body is supposed to be at a 7.0 between a 7.4 on the potential hydrogen scale. But if you constantly eating all day, using all of that energy to break down and digest the food and using that food for ATP and for fuel, That's acid, because the body is moving and working hard to break that food down. And that's why fasting is so important when healing, because when you're fasting, you're allowing your body to alkaline and be in an anionic experience. And now all of that energy can be used to detox the body and to use the cells to actually cleanse the cells and bring back integrity to the cells. That's why if you look in nature and you see an animal sick, notice the animals ain't going to eat anything unless it's too sick. If it's too sick, you will see a dog go eat grass or go eat herbs. You see that? So if a dog's stomach hurt, it'll eat some grass real quick. But usually they don't eat at all. They put their hand over their mouth, meaning fast, and they don't eat anything because they understand that the biological process of metabolism creates an acidic medium in the first place. You best just not eating anything. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. And that's what's going to bring that cellular pH back up to a 7, back to a 7.4, all the way back up to an 8 or wherever it needs to be to bring you in a balance of homeostasis. All right. All right, now check this out. Hold on, let's get to it. We ain't done, family. Now check this out. It says, as a second depiction of an organism characteristic pH range. It says buddy yeast is reported to have a cytoplasmic pH of 7. You see that? And that's the reason why we always talking about candida and yeast. Y'all don't realize how alkaline candida yeast truly is. So we got women that's always talking about, oh my God, I have a yeast infection. The yeast ain't the issue. These microorganisms is alkaline. They base. What's the issue is the acids. And that's the reason why the bacteria yeast is there in the first place, to neutralize the acids. You have too much acids inside of your vagina canal. You have too much acids inside of your reproductive organ, because that's what your vagina canal is used for every month. The endometrium lining of that cervix shed, and you're shedding out the byproducts of unutilized eggs during ovulation. This is an acidic environment. If you don't get rid of them acids, and if you ain't having, the right menstruates and stuff like that, that acid starts to build up, especially wearing the wrong tight panties and wiping your vagina with the wrong type of soaps and using all of the vagina perfumes and stuff like that. Acid starts to accumulate and build up. And remember, your cells are breaking down monthly and turn into blood and shedding, and that's a natural detoxification that you go through monthly. Imagine these systems is messed up and imbalanced because you have too much estrogen, because you have too much progesterone, you have too many things like testosterone building up. Estrogen is acidic, y'all. Testosterone is acidic. Now progesterone is acid, pregnenolone is acidic. So you have the reproductive organs creating all these acids. These things start to burn. So of course yeast and candida and stuff like that is going to start building up in the vaginal area, because these things are alkaline and these things neutralize the acids. So we got people that's always worried about the occurring yeast infections, but they're not going after the root problem. The root problem is the acidosis. You get rid of the acids, you're going to get rid of the yeast. The yeast is only there to actually bring the acids into compensation and create a neutral balance, y'all. A balance. That's all the body does. The body deals with scales and weights, balances. It's always trying to balance itself out. That's what the blood's doing every second of the day. You see the blood always going between 7.3 and 7.45 all day, every day. Up and down, fighting off acids to keep that alkaline base chemistry. That's what the body is made for. It's a food processor to keep it balanced and to use the food to yield high energy for you can have vitality. If you eating foods that is already acidic when it's going down, it's going to be extra acidic when it's being processed. This going to burn the hell out of your cells. Burnt cells is what creates cancer. Burnt cells is what creates parasites. Burnt cells is what brings on a mucosa response, y'all. These are facts. Parasites not the issue. They help the body. Mucus is not the issue. It helps the body. Bacteria is not the issue. It helps the body. This is what you call the effect. We got to go after the cause of these things. What started these things? It's acidosis, because you don't understand biochemistry and how your cells work. You have a sewage system in the body called the lymphatic system that's supposed to take all these agglomerated cells and all these acids and all just the body doing its thing, creating lactic acid, carbonic acid. They have to take these things, break it down, neutralize it, and get it out of the body quick. Period. All right, let's keep it going. Now, when you look at the actual body and you look at the actual scales, all right, physiologically, normal intracellular pH is most commonly between 7.0 and 7.4. So the cell, usually when you're not eating, when you're resting, this is what it is. It's very alkaline. That's why sleep is very important, because the purpose of sleep is for the body to detoxify. Let me say that again. The purpose of sleep is not only for Ram Astro walking, for Ram Astro, playing, for Ram Astro traveling. It's not only for that, but it's actually for you can put this vehicle on a machine and get it tuned up. So the purpose of sleep is for rest. When you're in a restful state, you're actually cleansing and detoxifying your body. That's why the circadian rhythm is so important, and that's why melatonin and serotonin is so important, because when you sleep, your body is detoxifying itself, and the cells start to maintain a balance of 7.4 to 7.0. But when you up and you moving and you just moving and doing your thing, your cells is at a 6.4 on the potential hydrogen scale. If you constantly eating, your cells are slightly acidic because you're dealing with the metabolic blowback from the food you constantly eating, from the movement you constantly doing. If I jump up and down right now and do 100 jumping jacks, I'm gonna sweat like hell. Why is that? Because my body is moving and I'm metabolizing the movement and the sugar being used and the carbon being used in my body. That's going to create lactic acid. So my skin will open up because I'm so hot on the inside. My skin will take a poop and start sweating out all the excessive sodium buildup, all the excessive acid buildup. And look, this is how much your sweat burns. This is how you know it's lactic acid. Let some of that damn sweat get in your eyes. Your eyes be burning like a motherfucker, don't it? Why is the eyes burning to high heaven? Because it's full of sodium and it's full of acid. It's lactic acid, y'all. Don't it make sense, man? Don't it make sense when you just slow down and you really start looking at how the human body is truly made? Then it shows you that there's no such thing as cancer. There's a such thing as cause and effect. You are eating an acid diet and your lymphatic system is not working properly. So when the lysosome, then the exosome, which is the digestive system of 150 trillion cells that make up your body, take a poop, the acids that it accumulated through the metabolic process did not leave through the lymphatic system. So that acid sits on top of the cells and it burns the cells. When it burns the cells, it start burning the oxygen out of the cells. It start burning the organelles inside of the cells. If your organelles inside, if your organs inside your body start being damaged, you will start dying. A damaged pancreas is diabetes. A damaged liver is cirrhosis of the liver. A damaged lung, they got all types of things for it. They got COPD, they got asthma. So many names for damaged cells in the body. A damaged iris, they call it glaucoma. They call it blindness. You see that damaged toenails, they call it toenail fungus. Damaged muscles, they call it all types of things, y'all. Damaged knees, damaged joints, they call it arthritis. If the cells is damaged in a macro point, you will have a disease for it. Why don't we have names for the micros? Because these cells are burning. The organelles inside of the cells are burning because the cells are eating poop, and then these cells are not actually digesting properly. They're not getting a digestion on. And that's what's going on. You are cellularly constipated. And that acid's from the poop, and since it's constipating, it's staying inside the organelles and it's burning up everything inside of the damn cell. Now, you have a beautiful body, y'all. And your body is so beautiful, your body is so magnificent that you have something called the mucosa membrane. Oh my God. This is one of the most, Yahweh just did its thing when it created the mucosa membrane. It's so smart that it's so damn stupid. So the mucosa membrane is in the body because it has something called the calcium buffering system. Y'all think I'm lying? I'm always talking about the calcium buffering system that plays its role inside of mucus, because calcium is your highly electrolyte, the highest electrolyte in the body that the human being can take inside of his body is calcium monotriphosphate. Now let me show you how I'm not lying, y'all. Check this out. This stuff be all here, right? Now this talking about cell survival. It says cell survival is conditional on the maintenance of a favorable acid-base balance. Let me say that again. Cellular survival is conditional. Now, guess what it depends on? It depends on it maintaining of a favorable acid-base balance. Acid is acidic. Base is what you call anionic or what you call alkaline. It must be balanced. Look, owing to extensive respiratory CO2 and lactic acid production. See that your body creates lactic acid production and CO2 to burn fuel, y'all. So just by you burning fuel, whether this fuel is alkaline or not, whether I'm on an all raw fruit diet or I'm eating nothing but pig all day, guess what? Your body gonna produce CO2 and lactic acid. Now we have to get these things out of the body. Now don't get it twisted. I'm not saying it's cool to eat meat. That's the worst thing you can eat because it's polypeptide chains. These polypeptide chains are very destructive in nature, and it produces the worst acid in the world, actually called uric acid. And these things actually comes from something that we're gonna talk about. And these purines are dangerous. Purines is some of the most dangerous acids in the body, and that's the reason why we're not supposed to be drinking milk and eating anything that's a byproduct of an animal. And we damn sure ain't supposed to be eating an animal, y'all. Look, milk and look, this lactic acid, dealing with lactose, not good lactose, but lactose, dealing with the milky substance of animals is the #1 carcinogens on planet Earth, y'all. You want to get cancer real fast? Drink you some milk all your life. They some of the most mucus forming things on planet Earth, y'all. You get cancer quicker off drinking milk than smoking cigarettes. But people don't want to talk about that though. But let's get back to it. That's right. Who drinks milk? You'd be surprised how many people still drink milk. Now look, cell survival is conditional on the maintenance of favorable acid-base balance owing to extensive respiratory CO2, carbon and 2 oxygen. This is the chemical composition of light as well, and lactic acid production. Cancer cells, hold on y'all. We finna start getting into what cancer is. Cancer cells or exposed continuously to large acid-base fluxes. That's why the cancerous cells is cancerous, because the cells is being damaged because the acids is not leaving the body, because you're constantly bringing acids in, or the exosomes and the ribosomes of the cells is not working properly and digesting it properly. Just in case you think I'm tripping, let's just go back to the model real quick, because I know that we are a seeing people. Now we back to the model. Let me see if I can blow this up real quick. Do y'all see these lysosomes? This is the digestional tract of the cell. Digest food and waste material. So, and look at the liver of the cells. The liver of the cells is called the Goji Apparatus, which modifies proteins. It builds organelles on the cellular wall. That's what you call the Goji Apparatus. Then you got the cytoplasma, which is nothing but the skeleton structure of the cells. You have the mitochondria, which is the energy producing, the metabolitic side of the cells. You have the vacuole, which is the bladder of the cell. Do we need to go around the whole cell to show you that the cells is nothing but a miniature you? So when these lysosomes are not working properly, which is over here to the right in the bottom, it says digest food and waste material, the cells become constipated. Then the acids break out of the lysosome and starts just being destructive and killing all the different organelles inside the cells. If this happened and over 66% of the cells is actually deteriorated and disintegrated and is lacking its oxygen, guess what they call it? They call it cancer. So you telling me we think cancer is just this big ass word that you can't beat, but all cancer is a damaged cell past a point of no return? Shit, everybody go through cancer then every day. Especially the life we live in and the things that the things that y'all eat, everybody go through that. So all you have to do is realize how to work the system, how to work your cells, and you can get rid of this C word that everybody is dying from, because you're not dying from cancer. You're dying from the treatment of cancer. By the way, these cytotoxic chemicals that they call chemotherapy and radiation, which is killing all of the rest of the good cells in the body, which is how you're going to live in the first place, because the good cells are going to get rid of the bad cells. But we don't understand the body and how the body works, y'all. We truly don't. Let's get back to this though, because I got something I want to show y'all. All right, now this is actually talking about what I'm going to be getting into tomorrow on my Instagram page. Now notice it was talking about how cancerous cells go through its fluxes of acid base, and the continual large acid base fluxes of the cells is what makes the cells cancerous, right? Now it's talking about the large cellular reservoir of HP. HP is what? Hydrogen plus. Hydrogen ions is acidic as hell. Hydrogen binding sites can buffer pH changes. Now it's talking about the buffering system. Now look, this how you know I know what I'm talking about, y'all. Let's go down and talk about what the buffering system is. We're going to talk about poorly perfused tumors. Additionally, diffusion reaction mechanism involving carbonic anhydrase, right? CH, which is calcium enzymes, fine-tune control extracellular pH. Now let's go back down and let's read what this say. Equivalent transporter buffering, or calcium, which is CH, is being investigated using monoclonal antibodies and small molecule inhibitors, showing you that calcium is a buffering system for acids. That's why calcium is so important. And that's why people that got calcium problems, you can tell they have acidic problems. When you start having bone problems and you start missing your bone density and you have osteoporosis of the bones and you start having bones break easy and you're very vital mineral D efficient, that's because you have too much acids in the body. So the bones is stripping itself of calcium and the cells is stripping itself of calcium to go into mucus, for mucus can go on a site and go put out the fire because you're eating too many acid forming foods. That's the reason why you have all the calcium and bone problems, is because acids is prevalent in the body and it needs calcium to put out the fire, because calcium, or what we call Ca, is the actual buffering system because it's high electrolyte activity. I know, y'all, this is some deep stuff. I know this is very deep. And that's the reason why the mucous membrane is so important. Without the mucous membrane, without mucus, it's impossible for you to be alive. Without fungus and mushrooms, it's impossible for you to be alive. Without the mycelium network, everything that y'all ordained demonized, everything that y'all demonize, everything that y'all think is actually negative, everything that y'all think is bad for the body, everything that y'all have been taught lies, all of this stuff is good for the body. Mucus is good for the body. You see that? Less calcium is good for the body, not too much calcium. That's where you get calcification from. It's where you get a calcified pineal gland from, calcified pituitary gland from. It's where you get calcified gout from. All this come from too much calcium because you got too much acids in the body. Y'all have to start studying cause and effect, the terrain. We always just focusing on the symptomology of things, and that's the allopathic community eyeballs that's just been programmed into your head, and you think you know everything by Googling shit, and you don't know a damn thing. And that's the reason why you can't beat your sickness, because you have to learn who you are. You have to learn your body from your African Hebraic. You see the Aboriginal Americas culture. You can't be learning from the Greek culture. They ain't gonna teach you a damn thing because they don't know nothing about your human anatomy, because you are made of melanin, melatonin, serotonin. These melanins is made from ionic gases. These gases are a part of the stars. These stars are a part of the sky. These things come from outer space. These things come from black holes. You come out of the heavens. They still trying to understand what a comet is made out of. They still trying to understand how wormholes is formed inside of black holes and how black holes engulf whole planetary systems. These are the same melanin substances that you are made out of. This is the same carbon constituent chains that make up your body that we call melanin or sugar. They don't know shit about that. What you think that they know anything about you? Everything they do on you is experimental because they don't fucking know. I'm just saying. Just saying, family. I'm just saying. Anyways, let's get to it. Let's get to it. So we already talked about that one. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. All right. Now check this out. Check this out. It says they used the model to explore the response of almost 2,000 metabolitic enzymes to change in the internal pH of a cell. See that? So in order to get the cell right, you have to have a metabolitic enzyme inside of the body. Somebody clip that. Hey, yeah, I'm going to clip that what I just said and put it up. All right, now check this out. I just want to read something real quick. It said the pH scale is a measure of acidity. All right, it says a acidic environment has a low pH and a alkaline or basic environment has a high pH. All right, potential hydrogen. That's all pH stands for. Potential or powered hydrogen. If that hydrogen, which is that first thing on that periodic table, is low, it's acidic. If it's high, it's powered. It's alkaline. Too high, you get too alkaline, which becomes acidic again. Because we're talking about a flip of a coin. It's still a damn coin, y'all. Or you go through a thermostat and you turn it up and it gets hot. You turn it down and it gets cold. We still talking about the same temperature. It's just a different degree. And that's all alkaline acid is. And once you realize that it's just a different degree of the same medium, you will know how to actually play with it, y'all. All right. Now check this out. It's neutral. It's neither acid or alkaline. Healthy cells have a slightly alkaline internal environment with a pH of 7.2. Cancer cells are more alkaline and have an internal pH that is even higher. Now let's talk about that. Boy, look, I'm just proving everything I've been saying for years. Let's talk about that. How it can be too high and still burn the cells. If you think I'm playing, just go get an alkaline battery out of your car and suck on the actual battery pole. Or go get some alkaline bleach, because all bleach is highly alkaline. It's at a 13.4 on the potential hydrogen scale, and drink that bleach. It's alkaline, right? It'll save you, right? You would die within minutes from drinking that bleach. You would get electrocuted and die from being killed for sucking on that battery. I sucked a little alkaline battery, and I was little. I still got the scar on my tongue till this very day. I done healed my gunshot wounds. I done healed my stab wounds. You can't even see my stab wounds no more. I still got that damn acid alkaline scar on my tongue though from sucking that D battery vote when I was little. I pulled it out of my toy and I put it on my tongue. I still got the burn right now. I healed everything else but that damn scar, showing you that alkaline can burn like hell too. So I don't care if you eating alkaline forming food or acid forming food. If your lymphatic system is not working, guess what? You're going to have damaged cell, because the byproduct for breaking down and metabolizing these phytonutrients brings acid forming waste. It's shit. It's shit. Do me a favor, poop in your toilet and poop in a basket and leave that poop sitting there and watch that poop break down. It's going to start stinking to high heaven. You're going to start seeing flies and maggots come from it. It's going to start leaving stains and stuff at the bottom of the bucket, because it's waste inside of that poop. And notice what comes from that poop: maggots, flies, nets. Oh hell, where the hell did that come from? Did it come from the defecation and poop itself? Because you're pooping out deteriorated cells, and living things and organisms is what makes up cells. You thinking all these things coming from outside of the body. Then you wonder why old folks in old folks home get bed sores, and then you look at the bed sores and there be maggots inside of them, and you looking at the door and wondering where the hell the maggots came from. It came from within inside of the body. Isn't you a living organism made of 150 trillion living organisms? Then you think you done caught a parasite from outside, or you done caught a virus from outside, or you done caught a bacterial infection from somebody. This stuff comes from within inside of your body when your body is in an acidic environment and you're not keeping the pH natural nutrients balanced, y'all. Like, we have to go on with the germ theory, the virus theory, all these damn theories that was made by Greek philosophers, and we got to get real or we ain't gonna be able to survive, because we don't know a damn thing that's going on within inside of our human anatomy. These things come from within inside of the cells, family. Come from within inside of you. These things come from broken down digestive systems that's inside of the cytoplasma of your cells, called exosomes and lysosomes. I can prove it. I prove it time and time again with all the damn healing testimonies we got. What more do we need? What more do we need? What the hell? Look, just ask this question. When bed sores come and these old folks get very, very bad bed sores, and they check and they find maggots moving around in there, where do the maggots come from? Where? Or if you put a dead cat in a box and seal that box, and you come back and the cat is just bones now, who the hell ate up all of the meat? Who ate up all of the fur? Where the hell did that go? Who ate it up? The cells ate it up. The bacteria that make up the cells ate it down to the bone. Then you open the box up and you see maggots. When you're on the side of the road and you see a dead raccoon and it stank to high heaven, and you see all type of maggots and flies flying around, where the hell did the maggots come from? They just flew from about it. They came from up yonder. No, it came from within inside of the dead corpus, y'all. Because you are a living organism. And these things are formed to eat acids. They're called the cleanup crew of the body. If you ain't got nothing to clean up the acidic waste that's produced by your cells, the same acidity, the same acids that's being produced by the cells from eating and going through its everyday functioning called cellular structure function, these byproducts will start eating and killing the organelles inside of the cells. If the organelles inside of the cell start losing 66% of its oxygen, and then they biopsy that cell and they put it under a microscope, and then that pathologist look and it sees a little moving entity inside of the cell, he say, you have cancer. Depending on the location of these cells and the tumor of these cells, he'll say if it's in the breast, you have breast cancer. They just to say you have see, look, we understand healing better if they say you have breast acidosis. If it's inside of the prostate, you have prostate acidosis. If we quit calling this shit cancer, maybe we get hip to the demonology and the word sorcery and the witchcraft that's going on. See, they using their knowledge. I mean, they're using their technology through their languages to kill our minds, and they got us in the okie doke. So now we under this illusion called disease when there ain't no damn such thing as a disease, and we let them kill us through their potions that they call medicine. See, this is the whole ritual and sorcery of the pharmaceutical companies. We don't see it coming from miles away. They get us every damn time. Every time they get us. And all we got to do is just slow down and say, hold on. I had a cancerous cell is nothing but a damaged cell. Oh. you learn some. Oh. A cancerous cell is nothing but a damaged cell. Oh, what damages cells? Oh, acids damage cell. Damn, well, the cells is at a point of no return. So that means the acids have turned to acidosis of the cells. Oh, how did this cell become acid? Oh, because the cell have to function, structure functioning. Just by the cells doing its everyday processes and eating, these create an acidic environment. Oh, so my cells must be constipated. See that when you slow down and you get into the simplicity of it, cancer is nothing but an acidic cell that's so acidic it can't be repaired. Who gives a F, y'all? Because your body creates trillions of cells every day. Okay, I got a bad digestional cell. Okay, I got IBS. Who gives a damn? My digestional tract is going to fully replace itself in 3 days. Fully replace itself. Okay, I got bald hair. Your hair replaces itself every 3 years if you keep the. So we have to get down to the root of the problem. What is damaging the cells, y'all? Acids. Get rid of the byproduct. You get rid of disease. See, let's just get disease out of here. Let's get cancer out of here. Let's get these damn words like sickle cell anemia. If we get rid of they words and shove that shit back in their face, and we start thinking simplistically here and realizing the structure functioning of our body, we will be able to heal anything. Because you're not dealing with disease, your ass is dealing with acid-based chemistry. This is biochemistry here. Ain't no damn such thing as a disease. Only disease is the body is not able to flow properly and be in balance, so it's not easily to be balanced. That's a disease, but ain't no such thing as no disease as in the damn name with these long-ass words. The last name got a Dr. Alzheimer's disease because Dr. Alzheimer's found the disease. Parkinson's disease because Dr. Lou Bird Parkinson's founded the disease. We got diseases named after damn Greek doctors, and we think this shit really real. This ain't real. These diseases are named after doctors. You have acids in your body burning the hell out of your cells, family. That's what's going on with you. If you get what I'm saying so far, type in some nines. If you get what I'm saying so far, type in some nines. If you get what I'm saying so far, type into some nines, and we're going to keep it going. I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. If you could really understand what I'm saying, y'all, this will save your life. I'm telling you, especially people with cancerous cells. And we're going to get to how to get rid of it too, y'all. I'm not just on here talking about the bad stuff. We're talking about the good stuff as well. All right. Let's keep it going. I talked about that already. All right, now let's just see. Now we just understanding the pH of cancer. I just showed y'all another one. Here go another one. Now look, it says a pH of a tumor cell is mildly acidic in the range of 6.4 to 7.0. If you look at how your cells is at any given time of day, it is always at a 6.4. It's slightly acidic because it's always working on byproducts. So every cell in your body is slightly acidic at a 6.4. When you're resting, it goes alkaline. If you don't have too much acids and your lymphatic system is working properly and you're urinating a lot and you're defecating a lot, it will raise itself back up during that actual circadian rhythm time of your body restoring itself. And usually that's between 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. That's that restoration time. And that's why you're supposed to get into very, very deep sleeps. Because if you can't get into a deep sleep, then your body won't reserve that energy to raise up the pH balance to alkaline the body and put the body in an antibiotic state. And that's the reason why it's bad to go to sleep with lights on. It's bad to go to sleep with the television on. It's bad to go to sleep with all these things on. And it's good to cover your eyes too and get you some blindfolders while you sleep. That way you can trick that pineal gland into producing, more melatonin for you can get deeper deeper and deeper into your sleep. And that way you can restore your body and your cells can start detoxifying themselves. And notice the first thing you do when you wake up, you got to take a pee or you got to poop. That's because your body been shedding all of that metabolic waste and all of that acidosis while you were asleep. Now you're ready to get rid of it on a macro and micro level when you wake up. So that's why the lack of sleep make you more acidic, because the only way to truly cleanse the cells is when you're resting. If y'all got that so far, type in some nines. Yes, and that facts, Valerie, and bats sleep in darks. And notice what bats eat. They're on an all alkaline frugivore diets. Most of your bats eat nothing but fruit, family. Bats are some of the most alkaline things ever. That's why when they was talking about the COVID and they said it came from the bat, the Chinese man was like, y'all bullshit. It ain't come from no damn bat. Y'all see it came from straight snake venom and all of that stuff. But notice how they said it came from a bat. They like, man, these bats alkaline as hell. These are fruit bats. How the hell these things causing viruses? But that's a whole nother topic, y'all. All right, I'm glad y'all get that. Let's keep going. All right, so now I want to start getting into uric acid and how it plays a role. Before then, let's go and get into a quick commercial real quick. And we're going to play some videos too for y'all. All right, quick commercial. Y'all already know that May the 7th, I'm going to be in San Diego, California. We're going to be at the World's Beat Center in San Diego, California, 2100 Park Boulevard, San Diego, California, CA 92109. The doors open at 11. The lectures start at 1. It ends at 6. And we're going to have an after social where there's food and everything involved at 7:30 to 9 p.m. Make sure that y'all follow the link. It's on eventbrite.com. We only have a few tickets left, so make sure y'all get on there, y'all buy y'all tickets. And look, don't meet me there, beat me there. This is going to be amazing. We actually start an agriculture and permaculture program in San Diego where I'm going to be giving away organic, untouched heirloom seeds to our people. We have started a former co-op. So, I mean, we are doing a lot of work is being done. That's the reason why y'all haven't been seeing me live so much, because I'm traveling, really putting in work for the people. Shouts out to my whole entire team, everybody. Shouts out to everybody that's working with me. Shouts out to everybody that came to Atlanta that became part of the team now that's working with me. We had a beautiful Zoom call. We having another Zoom call next week. We actually keeping up with each other, and we building a very, very big promising community, y'all. If you want to be a part of that community, just make sure you reach out to Nabi and make sure you reach out to us, and stuff like that. And look, let's build. And for those that don't know how to actually follow the link, you can actually go here. And it's on eventbrite.com. Just make sure that you put in health and liberation on there, or type in Yaki and I'll pop up. Again, the tickets is almost sold out. We're going to have some good food there for y'all, and it's going to be a very good time. And it's just going to be, your network is your network, y'all. So just keep that in mind, y'all. Also, for people that need any type of healing herbs, y'all already know I am claiming and proclaiming this to the rooftops, and we are proving this, that I have some of the most alkalining potent herbs here in America, y'all. I'm not saying I'm the only one with them, but I am one of the only ones with them. So if you want some alkaline potent herbs that's ratioed and mixed by myself, me, which is going to heal your body of all types of so-called diseases, which we have thousands and thousands of testimonies and diagnostic sheets proving our healing, y'all. Go to www.yakiawaken.com. I'm not going to be too long on this page right here. You can click on geogenetics. That's our geogenetic therapy. On education, it's a whole lot of stuff under here. The Eat to Live page is amazing. This is the herbal store that gives you all types of things: consultations, capsules, geogenetics, tinctures, teas, powders, any type of herbs in any form. We do sell it. And the detox home will be back open soon, plus the client portal. The whole website will be done by next month. We are at the ending stage of the new website. We just going through everything and making sure everything is tightened up, y'all. So that concludes my commercial. Let's get back to it. Family. All right, now we're going to talk about uric acid. All right, it's a waste product or byproduct found in the blood. It is created when the bodies break down chemicals called purines. All right. Now the body is breaking down chemicals. When the body breaks down chemicals, the leftover is called purines. These purines are highly acidic, y'all. It says most uric acid dissolves in the blood and passes through the kidneys and leaves the body through urine. They don't know what the hell they talking about. Most uric acid dissolves in the lymphatic system. You see how they always trying to leave the lymphatic system out of things because they don't know nothing about the lymphatic system. The moment that your blood deal with acids and it changes that level of 7.45, you will die within 3 minutes. So ain't no way in hell the blood is dissolving acids in it. That don't even sound right. You will die. You will literally die of acidosis in 3 minutes. The blood can only stay out of balance for 3 minutes. And I might even be giving it too much. It might be only 2 minutes. See that? So we know good and damn well that the blood is not dealing with the acids. The blood is alkaline, and the blood must maintain its alkalinity because the blood is how you feed the body and the cells its oxygen and phytonutrients. Now you do get a lot of phytonutrients fed by lymph fluid, but that's what deals with the acid side of chemistry, the lymphatic system, y'all. And this is a lipid-based system or oily system. It's full of fats and shit like that. That's what deals with the acid side. It would never be the blood. But notice what it says. This uric acid and purines actually comes from the breaking down of chemicals or phytonutrients inside of your body. So when you break down food like meat and stuff like that, this is going to break down the chemicals. Once these chemicals break down, the byproduct is called purines. These purines from this uric acid messes stuff up because it coagulates, agglomerates, and it constipates the lysosomes and the exosomes inside of your cells. Now that poop is just sitting on top of the cells, burning the cells alive, y'all. And this is what you call cancer. All cancer is when you have a parasite inside the cells eating off the goodies. The only reason why the parasites was able to invade the cell in the first place because acid burnt the damn hole through it. You see that? And then you have acids that's depleting the cells of 66% of its oxygen. And if y'all think I'm lying, I will show y'all cancer on the microscope, and it's all types of different parasites in the cell. You have to wonder, okay, then how if I have something called a cytoplasma, and then I have a cellular membrane, and my cells are surrounded by mucus, and the mucosa barrier protects the cells from being invaded, how the hell was it invaded in the first place by these parasites? That's supposed to be inside of my duodenum. That's supposed to be inside of my small intestinal tract. See, long as the parasites inside the small intestinal tract, they call the microbiome. They call the good bacteria, the candida, the albicans. They call it all types of good names. Let that damn thing pass through the blood and brain barrier. It's got Alzheimer's disease. It's creating all types of amyloid protein. Let it invade that thymus gland. You got HIV. You got AIDS. Let it invade that pancreas like a fluke worm. Now you got diabetes mellitus. You got hyperglycemia, hypoglycemia. Let it invade that thyroid gland. Now you have hyperthyroidism, hypothyroidism. Let it get inside them fingernails. Damn, I got all types of toenail fungus, fingernail fungus. Let it try to excrete itself through the skin. Man, I got a ringworm. See that? Depending on where the microbiome go inside the body, that's what's going to manifest. But they only coming because the acids is there. Once you start breaking down cells by acids, now you are leaving a pathway for them to just go and start mutating and changing and shit. Most of these parasites don't come from outside the body. Some of them do. You do get some from cats and dogs walking on concrete barefoot, not on grass, but on concrete barefoot and things like that. But most of the parasites that comes from within inside of your body is coming from within inside of the cells of the body. And then they're going to each individual cells and invading the cells because acid is burning the actual barrier that's protecting the cells. Now these things are starting to eat all your phytonutrients and the goodies that the cells is trying to eat. So now you playing a teeter-totter between the cells eating the food and the damn parasite eating the food. Then they pooping and they pissing all in your cells, sending receptors. I want hot Cheetos today. I want Emo's pizza today. That's not you. That's the damn parasite. So you wondering why you got these cravings and you so addicted and you got cancer, but you can't change your eating habits because you so addicted to the food. It's the damn parasites thinking for you. Ooh, but people don't want to talk about that though. All right. It says most uric acid dissolves in the blood, passes through the kidneys. That's not lies. They do pass through the kidneys, but by way of the lymphatic system, though, and leaves the body in urine. That's the truth. It says food and drinks high in purines also increase the level of uric acid. Now we got to talk about foods that are high in these things, y'all. And you pull up these foods and look, seafood. Everybody be like, well, what about fish, Yaki? What about fish? This is what I'm going to say about fish. that's high in uric acid. All fish is high in uric acid. All meats is high in uric acid. And then these are vegetables that's high in uric acid. And there's more vegetables than this. And this is the reason why I push a frugivore diet, not a herbivore diet, not an omnivore diet, and not a carnivore diet. If you look at the cellular biology and the physiological makeup of a human being, you will see that we're frugivores by nature, and we ain't supposed to be eating vegetables like that. We ain't supposed to be taking herbs like that. See that? And only time you take herbs is when the body is truly sick or if you're fighting off something. And you damn sure ain't supposed to be eating meats nor seafood, y'all, which is considered meats. Because these things actually creates what, y'all? Uric acid. Uric acid is some of the worst acid on planet Earth. And as far as the mushroom, disclaimer, mushrooms are very, very alkaline in nature. This is talking about shiitake mushrooms. Shiitake mushrooms actually produces uric acid and is very acidic. And I do agree with Dr. Sabian when he talked about shiitake, don't take it. When he talked about that one, that was correct according to my laboratory findings. It is acidic, y'all, and it produces these things. But look at it. Lentils, your large spinach, when you check baby spinach, we see that it do produce a little acid through its byproduct, and it got a lot of calcium in it, which buffer it back out, but it's not as acidic as your large spinach. Cauliflower, peas, garbanzo beans, them chickpeas, y'all, very acid forming, y'all. That's why it gives you so much bloating when you eat them and you fart a lot, because the microbiome got to take it and take its methane and octane, take its carbon and really start breaking these things down, which produce a lot of gas through the acids. And that's why you be farting to high heaven, funkerizing the world. You know what I'm saying? Flavor beans and asparagus. These things are have high uric acid. That's why if you eat asparagus and you pee, you smell that uric acid. See that? And look, we ain't gonna talk about all lactose, any type of milk. If that's not galactose that come from the black woman breast, it's acidic. And that's the reason why you've seen a lot of Caucasian women put their babies on black women's breast, because even when you test their milk conductivity and you test their milk electrolytes, now don't get me wrong, they can grow babies, but their milk is actually slightly acidic more than ours. Our women milk is more alkaline. And that's the reason why they had us feeding our women feeding their babies. It's all there if y'all just slow down and really start watching stuff, y'all. All right. Now, I want to show y'all this. Can y'all hear it? Hold on. Hold on, family. Hold on, family. Can y'all hear me, family? What just happened? Hold on, family. I'm having technical difficulties. My mic just cut off. Hello? Can y'all hear me? All right, now I'm finna try to play this too. Is it hooked up? Let me make sure I'm hooked up right. Let me pull this back in. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do it this way. Let me do it this way. All right, this will work. Now, this is talking about how cancer is a parasitical infection, y'all.
Today we have a very exciting and highly requested video by you, and this is that of the proof that cancer might be a microparasitical infection, and we promised you this.
Hold on, before we do this, let me make sure y'all can hear this. If y'all can hear this right now, could y'all let me know? If y'all can hear this right now, let me know. If y'all can hear what I'm playing right now, type in some nines. Okay. Okay, cool. Look, now check this out. Have anyone in here tried my products? Of course. Down there, everybody in here tried my products. Just look on my page.
Video some weeks ago when we published a video on cancer being a microparasitical infection. If you haven't,
y'all, this is deep. I done showed this before. Check this out.
I'm gonna link it in the description box below. I highly recommend that you go and do so now. And in this video, we're gonna show you the video microscopy of those microparasites, how they behave, and why there is indisputable proof that cancer indeed is a microparasitical infection and that mainstream cancer research has not recognized it yet as such. And this theory was put forward by Dr. Weber and some other scientists from the Max von Pettenkofer Institute, a very renowned institute in Munich, Germany, and unfortunately has not gained much traction despite the proof that you're gonna see in this video. So without further ado, let's watch the video and what those scientists have observed, and you can see for yourself and make up your own opinion and mind. And then afterwards, we're going to talk about some implications of that proof and some consequences that we can draw from it and how we should behave and how should we...
All right, now check this out. Let's get straight to it. Let's get straight to it real quick because they was taking super long with that. Now check this out, y'all. Here you go.
Video proof of cancer as a parasitical infection. Let's go more than 30 years back in time. At the renowned Pettenkofer Institute in Munich, Germany, 3 German medical doctors, Dr. Übing, Schiertz, and Dr. Winter, were busy studying strange objects in human blood. They published their results in the renowned scientific journal Ärztliche Praxis under the title Unusual Corpuscular Elements in Blood. Here's what the article read. When counting red blood cells in human blood that has been thinned with saline solution, we can often detect corpuscles, which cannot be categorized as blood cells. Those are oval or grape-shaped particles with a length of 2 to 3 thousandths millimeters. We can observe those corpuscles in an astonishingly wide range of patients. We have also observed that those small oval forms can penetrate into red blood cells, which leads to a change in shape of the blood cells and the excretion of round objects after a certain amount of time. Over a flame, the patient suffers from leukemia.
Now, do y'all see this leukemia patient? Now, look at all of these things moving around in the cells, eating up the cells, y'all. These are microscopic parasitics inside of leukemia patients, eating all the damn iron out of the cells, eating all the phytonutrients out of the cells, eating the organelles, just cleaning the cells out, y'all. Check this out. Look at it. If you look closely, look at it just moving inside the cells. These are human cells.
You see the blood sample of a patient suffering from liver cancer. Here the blood of a patient with bladder cancer.
Y'all see him moving around?
And this is tissue from the bladder carcinoma. You can clearly see the lively movements of the microbes. Here the diagnosis is that of lymph node metastases.
Now look, I want to pause this. Look in the, hold on, let's go back. I want y'all to see how this lymph node is opened up and how these worms are in there moving around, y'all. And all this is real under a microscope, y'all. Check this out.
From the bladder carcinoma, you can clearly see the lively movements of the microbes. Here, the diagnosis is that of lymph node metastases. This is an almost mature gamete. He can be found in the space between the cells.
Look at him moving around, y'all. And it's almost mature, meaning it's going to grow and get super big. Look at it moving around. Look.
And here a blood sample after mammal surgery. You can see a dying leukocyte. Patient is suffering from breast cancer. Diagnosis?
Breast cancer. Look at all these damn worms, y'all.
This is the blood of a patient suffering from a lip carcinoma. And here cells of a lung carcinoma. In the lower left part, you can clearly see red blood cells in whose innards there are lively microparasites.
There are lively microparasites. Y'all see them moving? Look at them moving, y'all. Look at the arrows. The arrows are pointing at a tumor grown on a bladder. Y'all see that? Every cancer, you cannot have cancer. Look at that one just moving. Y'all see it? It's impossible to have any type of cancer. Now look at this. You see the worm trying to make it into the cell? Look at that. It's trying to penetrate the cell. Y'all see that white space that's around the cell? That's mucus. That's called interstitium fluid. That's made to protect the cell. But if that cell poop through the lysosome and exosome and it can't excrete the poop from the cells or the byproduct of the acids will then start burning the cellular membrane, and that white part will have an opening, and you will start seeing the worms actually move into the cells and eat the cells up.
All of them. There is no tumor tissue without these microbes.
He said there is no tumor tissue without these microparasitics. Any type of cancer always come with a parasite. Just like herpes come with a parasite. Diabetes come with a parasite called flukeworm. Herpes come with a parasite called Phagocytes buski. HIV come with a parasite called Phagocytes buski. When you get into all of your different neurological diseases like Alzheimer's, dementia, come with a parasite called Ascaria. When you get to malaria, you come with a parasite that gives you the malaria disease in your liver. Any type of so-called disease, that it all comes with a parasitic, and the parasite is there for the acids. So the root to the problem is not the parasite, but it's the acidosis, because that's what parasites and bacteria love to eat. They were created to eat acids. So if you have an overpopulation of parasites and bacteria, then you have an overpopulation of acids in your body from eating the wrong foods or being in an acidic environment. All right, that's just, we'll get off of that. I just wanted to show y'all that. Now, I want to go back to this too. This is a lady talking about how there's no such thing as HIV. I got a whole video coming out about this, y'all. And I've been saying this for years.
I'm talking today to the Austrian-German biologist Christel Meyer, who has proven that the HIV virus does not exist.
Hold on. The HIV virus doesn't exist. Wait till y'all see my documentary on this. It will blow y'all mind. I've been working on it for 2 years. And the reason why it's been taking so long, because I had to cover every aspect of this. And this is how we able to get rid of HIV, because it's nothing but the ribosomes and exosomes and the lysosomes not working properly within inside of the cell. All of this stuff that they teaching us is bullshit. We got people taking their lives because they think that they got HIV. We got people killing themselves, and then people getting locked up because people so-called spread. It's all propaganda. This is bull crap for them to create they SHOTS, y'all. I'm telling you, it's all this bull crap. It's bull crap. And wait till y'all see this documentary. It will blow y'all mind.
Could you tell us something about your qualifications, please?
I studied at the University of Marburg in Germany, and I studied chemistry, biochemistry, biology, and I did my scientific work in medical microbiology concerning virus and antibodies.
And this research brought you to look at the HIV virus, and you discovered there is no such thing. Is that correct?
It was later that I did my research on AIDS and HIV, but with this back...
This is her name. Look her up. Christel J. Meyer. I got all of her books. I got all of her interviews. I got all of her paperwork. I got all of T. Croy paperwork. I got all Fryer paperwork. I got all of their paperwork. There's no such thing, and that's the reason why HIV patients can either get misdiagnosed with HIV or cancer, because it's all the damn same disease, y'all. It's not even a disease. It's the cells breaking down and the free radicals from the lysosomes and exosomes not acting right because the digestive part of the cells was not digesting the byproducts of the acids the correct way. I'm telling y'all, these are facts, y'all. The government have been lying to us about every fucking thing.
It was very interesting for me to do research in this area.
And you found out that what looks like the HIV virus is actually a gene in our immune system.
Yes, I found out by doing research when I taught the students in Belize, Central America, in microbiology, that the genes of our immune system, which are called human leukocyte antigen genes, are the cause for testing positive, because they are very variable, and by gene expression We produce RNA and proteins, and these just make the test positive.
Facts. And these RNA and proteins is produced by the ribosome. Once it's produced by the ribosome, it actually get broken down by what you call the exosomes and the lysosomes. And these free radical proteins is what makes you test positive, y'all. These are facts, man. Look, straight up facts. If you cleanse out the exosomes and the ribosomes, you cleanse out the digestional tract of the cell, not just the body and the macro, but the cells and the micro, you'll get rid of HIV, you'll get rid of AIDS, you'll get rid of cancer, you get rid of all of these lying ass disease. That name doesn't mean anything, y'all. It's all lies. But let's keep listening real quick, and then we're gonna get back to the lesson.
But nothing is coming from outside. It's a production from inside.
Ooh, hold on. What she just say? I've been saying this for years. Nothing comes from the outside, but it's actually a what? She said it's a disease that's from the inside of the body. Ooh-wee.
And it does not mean that we are sick or have a disease.
Another problem you point out is that the HIV tests are not standardized.
Yes, the tests are not standardized. They vary all over the world. So you can take a test in Africa and fly with your result to France. If you were tested positive in Africa, you are negative in France.
We actually had somebody do that, y'all. We actually had somebody fly across the world that was positive because they wanted to prove me wrong. They had all this money and everything. I'm like, look, take this test, this positive test, and go over into Africa and test again. And look, straight tested negative. They tested negative 3 times. Then we had somebody else. They got tested 30 times within 2 months, y'all. And 3 of the reports said it was negative. So you can't even go off the test to this stuff, y'all. It's a made up disease. Your body produces this stuff all the time, naturally. But I ain't gonna play all this because I gotta get up out of here. So let me get done with the rest of this. But hey, that HIV documentary, that's gonna be on the website. I already know if I put that on YouTube, they gonna snatch my channel, boy. They gonna take. I ain't gonna be able to get redeemed or nothing. They gonna take it. If y'all get what I'm saying so far, type in some 9s. Yes, a lot of people lost their lives because for what? They lost their lives through the chemotherapy treatment, the actual medicine, the immune suppressive therapy medicine, or the immuno chemicals that they give you. They call it immunotherapy that they give you for HIV is actually mustard gas, which is the same chemotherapy they give you for cancer that kills cancer patients. There's no difference between the mustard gas that they give you for HIV, the pills and stuff you take. It's nothing but mustard gas. It's no difference from the chemotherapy and radiation that they give you for cancer. They even treat it the same way that they treat cancer and kill cancer patients with the so-called immunosuppressive therapy that they do the same exact thing for HIV patients. You are taking chemicals, chemotherapy, mustard gas that they actually use in chemical warfare. This is a fucking biological weapon, and they should be locked up and tarred and feathered for selling this shit to the people, y'all. Straight up, man. This is an evil ass world we stay in. This shit is so evil. The stuff that I know, if I told y'all, it will blow your mind. You would think I'm lying here. It's evil as hell. These are dark elites that's working for reptilian shapeshifters hiding beneath earth and caves and shit, getting their mandations from fallen angles of lights and shit. Look, this shit is way more spiritual than what you think it is, family. I'm telling you, this is an evil ass world we stay in, y'all. Everything is a damn lie. Everything. When I say everything, if the government taught it to you, it's bullshit. If they tell you jump up, go down. If they say that the earth is round, it's damn show flat. If they say it's a earth core in the middle, it's hollowed. Like anything that they tell you is a lie. That's what they do. These are liars. This by DNA. This by their reptilian brains. They liars, man. Straight up. Just the facts. Just the facts. We talking about draconian shapeshifters here. These ancient evil ass beings. Straight up. The Bible called it that old serpent, the dragon who deceived the world. The archons. The Nagamati call it the archon community. The government call them the alien grays. They call by many different names. And these things will build false realities and stick our asses in them. And we think everything around is real when it's fake as hell. Your food fake, you think that's real. People you're hanging around fake, you think them real. Your water fake as hell, you think that's real. Huh? Everything around us is fake. Fake. Lights fake. Everything fake. We down there up under a fake sun, fake moon. Everything damn fake out here. Fake. Holographic simulation. The Matrix. Created by the Archons. What you call the Draconians. But hey, okay. All right. When I get into that, I start losing followers. I'm going to create a page just talking about that. Let's watch this one. Dang, hold on. Let me get that out of there. Let me play this one for y'all real quick.
Them cause some nasty disease. A tapeworm one time. A parasite is any living thing that lives and gets its food at the expense of another, generally on or in its host. And some of them cause some nasty diseases. But some parasites take that in thing to extremes. They don't just live attached to other organisms or hide out in its gut. No, they live inside their host's very cells. Some of them are huge problems for humans.
Hold on, what did it just say? They live inside their host's very cells.
While others are mere curiosities. And while some are bacteria or other tiny organisms, others aren't what you would expect at all. Here are 6 such tiny parasites and how they do it. First up on our list is a group of microbes belonging to the genus Plasmodium, parasites that cause malaria in humans. As you might have heard, this
See that? So malaria, parasites, Plasmodium parasites.
parasite kills a lot of people. Plasmodium has a complicated life cycle that takes it from a mosquito's gut to its saliva to a human liver to the bloodstream. And that last part is what causes malaria symptoms. After multiplying in the liver for a while, the parasite bursts out and attacks red blood cells. Incidentally, a single liver cell can produce thousands of Plasmodium cells, and a red blood cell can breed a few dozen. Once it's inside a red blood cell...
Yeah, that's all the who the elite is. The Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts. You get into the Gates family. Even when you get into Mark Zuckerberg, all of them. Just look at them. Study them. Queen Elizabeth, study them. Them some damn reptilians.
And this is what makes malaria so tricky to treat. Plasmodium starts rearranging the furniture. This includes sticking new proteins on the surface of the cell and creating tiny knobs that cause infected red blood cells to stick to blood vessel walls. That prevents them from flowing through the bloodstream and getting thrown out by the spleen, which normally identifies defective blood cells. The infected blood cell can also clump together with uninfected red blood cells, disguising itself among the healthy cells in something called a rosette. And those clumps can block traffic. It can use that in preventing these dangerous diseases. We can treat rickettsia infections with antibiotics, but prevention is always better.
Rickettsia infections, there's so many of them, y'all. I mean, there's so many. And all of these different ones, a lot of them come from within inside of the body. And if they don't come from within inside of the body, they come from within inside of a host body. And you was around a host and it got into your body. But they have to live inside of the body, y'all. We have to understand that. Now, the best way to do this is to, and I tell y'all this all the time. You want to get rid of cancer, HIV, any of these so-called lying names that associate themselves with diseases which we don't believe in. You have to get the kidneys and the adrenals online. And when you get the kidneys and the adrenals online, you open up the lymphatic system. There is no, and I got 10 minutes. Let me go into this real quick. I want to pull up this presentation. I want to show you how amazing your lymphatic system is. All right. I want to show you how amazing it is. Let me go into this real quick. The site is in the description, y'all, and it's actually on the website on my screen, www.yakiawaken.com. I suggest that you watch this video, then go to the website instead of just going on the website and buying anything. I think you should watch a few of my videos. It's not about me just selling herbs. I want you to understand, and understand what you need for your body. Now, check this out, y'all. Let's get back to it. Let's go over this lymphatic system real quick. And it's amazing how the lymphatic system have lymphatic associated organs, right? Like, for instance, if you actually go to the throat, you have the thyroid, which is a lymphatic associated organ. If you actually go through the thymus gland is a lymphatic associated organ. Notice the thymus gland sits on one of the major organs in your body called the heart. You know, the thyroid deals with the throat, the voice box. So everywhere inside of your body that is very important, we see that you have a lymphatic associated organ. Even when you get inside the stomach, you have something called the spleen that cleanses out the gut. That's a lymphatic associated organ. When you get around the gonads, you have something called the Peyer's patches. That is a lymphatic associated organ. You see that? The lymphatic system is the sewage system of the body. Remember, the body is made of 150 trillion cells, and each cell have to eat. Each cell have to poop. Each cell have to move. Each cell have to migrate. Each cell have to assimilate, just like you have to do in the macro. All right. Everything starts from the gut. And we talks about the gut. We talk about how the lungs is formed from the gut. The ears is formed from the gut. We talk about the first three things that's created when we're talking about embryology. It's always the nervous system, the primitive gut tube, and something actually called the mucosa sac. So we see that the lymphatic system is created with everything else is created during that first birthing process of creation when you get conceptualized in your mother womb. This shows you how important that the lymphatic system is, because the lymphatic system deals with the sewage system. It deals with the byproducts of your cells, because your cells are miniature used. They move, they produce things, they get inflamed, they eat, they byproducts, they urinate, the cells breathe. So if they're breathing, they're creating carbon dioxide that needs to get out of the body. They're creating all types of byproducts of utilization, byproducts from minerals, byproducts from everything. So there's a system at play inside of the body that get rid of the acidosis, and it's called the lymphatic system. How do you get your lymphatic system moving? By going on an all fruit diet. All fruit livid. How do you get your lymphatic system moving? By doing rebounding, jumping on a trampoline, jump roping, jumping jacks, things that's going to get that lymph moving. Skin brushing is amazing. Always skin brush towards the kidneys, never skin brush towards the heart. Why would you bring all of the shit that your cells are creating to your heart? That makes no sense. Always skin brush towards the kidneys. Another thing, get in a sauna. Make sure you're sweating. Your skin is not only the largest organ of the body, but it's the largest elimination organ of the body. The skin acts as the third kidney. Get the sweating. If you're having a problem with sweating, check your basal temperature. It's your thyroid that's down, and get things to heal the thyroid, like our thyroid and parathyroid tincture off of my website. We have to move this lymph. The lymph is what cleans the cells poop. The lymph is what cleans the cells pee. Everything is around the lymph. The lymphatic system, the lymph nodes are associated with all the tissues in the body, because each cell have to defecate, and it's supposed to defecate inside of the lymphatic system. So if we can move this system with getting the kidneys online, because the kidneys is what filtrate lymph by way of the adrenal glands. The adrenal glands produces something called acetylcholine and acetylcholinesterase. These things act as a dilator and actually a constrictor of the lymph vessel, pulsating and peristalsing them vessels, for that vessel can move that lymph and get rid of all the cytotoxemia and all the toxins that the cells are producing. It's all by way of the lymphatic system. Then you have the lymph nodes, which is connected to the lymphatic vessels. These are your septic tanks. It's full of bacteria and macrophages. These things break down acidosis, and they kill unwanted parasites. These things have to be freed up, and they cannot be blocked. So we see that we got the tonsils, which is a lymphatic associated organ, the thymus gland, lymphatic associated organs, lymph vessels, lymphatic associated organs, the spleen, lymphatic associated organs, the bone marrow, lymphatic associated organs. So if you have a leukemia, you have a lymph problem. That's a bone marrow white blood cell problem. See that all of this is lymph problem. This is a real lymphatic organ, cholesterol based system with a real lymphatic vessel and a real lymph node. This is exactly how it looks. And the reason why it's yellow, because it's cholesterol. There's no difference between lymph fluid, cholesterol, or mucus. It's all the same thing, y'all. All the same thing. Then you start seeing what's inside of the lymphatic vessels. You got pathogens, you have probiotics, you have all types of endophine cells, you have dendritic cells, you have globite cells, you have mesoteric cells, you have all types of bacteria, phagocytes, lymphocytes, basocytes, neutrophils, monophils. Sounds like the white blood count, don't it? All these, you have B cells, which stands for bone marrow cells. Teach cells stands for thymus cells. Trig cells, macrophages. All of this is just supposed to be a part of the immune system. Is actually inside of the lymphatic system. Another thing you have is the IgG, the globulin or the globulin. And notice when you go get checked for herpes, they check your IgG glycoprotein, showing you that herpes is a part of a compromised what? Lymphatic system. If you can cleanse this system, you can cleanse out all of these so-called diseases out of your body, including cancer. And you do this on the all fruit diet. You do this with being active, and you do this with taking our geogenetic therapeutic herbal package. I'm gonna leave off with this though, because I know a lot of people thought I was lying. It says human microbiome. The human microbiome is an aggregate of microbiota that resides on or within human tissues and biofluids, along with the corresponding anatomical sites in which they reside, including, I'm gonna point out the ones we need. All right, skin, mammary glands, placenta, seminal fluid. So we see that bacteria makes up our seminal fluid. See that? Prokaryotic cells make up our mammary glands. Prokaryotic cells make up our placenta, make up our skin, make up our uterus, your ovarian follicles, your lungs, your saliva, your oral mucosa. You see that? Your biliary tract, your gastrointestinal tract. All these things are made up of by microorganisms. And look, these microorganisms include bacteria, archaea, fungus, prostis, and what? Last but not least, viruses. Do y'all see that? So viruses come from within the body, not from outside the body. They got it right there on Wikipedia. They got it right there in the government sites that the viruses do not come from outside the body. It come from inside the body microbiome that's inside of your cells, because your cells are made with 150 trillion cells, and 100 trillion of them cells belong to the human microbiome, or the microbiota, or what we call the organisms or bacteria, single cell bacteria, which is called prokaryotic cells. And that is what black people are made out of. And these prokaryotes come from outer space, because you are alien. Alien is a Hebrew word for the Most High. Ooh wee. See that? So the microorganisms' residence is inside the bodies, inside the cells. That's all I'm saying. Then start talking about gut bacteria, have neurochemicals on the body. These things is what grows into parasites, y'all, because they go unchecked. When these things are in the wrong location and in the wrong side of the body, they grow. And remember we was reading the video and it said that germet became mature. It started off microscopic, then it was so big that you ain't need a microscope to look at it. Damn, how did that happen? Because it was out of its location because of acids. When you start breaking the cells down due to acidosis, and the mucous membrane is protecting the cells, and the Goji apparatus and all of the different cellular structures start to break down, you opening up the cells to be infiltrated by these little microorganisms. When these microorganisms get in locations they ain't supposed to be, they start to harm the body, y'all. They start to harm the body. All right, now I just want to leave off on this astringent fruit. I highly recommend you do this on our geogenetic therapeutic package if you are suffering from cancer. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. If you're suffering from HIV, if you're suffering from AIDS, if you're suffering from any of these things, the astringent fruits, all right? And let's talk about how these fruits are very, very astringent. The astringent side, it detoxifies and it pulls acid from the cells. First one on the list is your grapes all day. Grape. Anybody that got cancer, I recommend that they get on an all grape diet. It's a book called The Grape Cure that a Caucasian woman wrote. Very intelligent Caucasian. She healed herself of actual cancer. The book is amazing. Get it off of Amazon. It's only $14. It might be a lot more now, and I done had the book for like 10 years. The next one, key limes, pomegranates, tangerines, mangoes, oranges, navel oranges with seeds, y'all. Grapefruits, apples, pears, peaches. We are not going to say pineapples with this one. And I'm not saying pineapples because they're hybrid or because they're acidic, because they're not acidic. It is a hybrid, but it's a hybrid by nature. God hybrid things all the time. All right, so I'm not going to say, and the only reason why I'm knocking pineapples off this list is because if you are very, very acidic already, I don't want you bringing, highly electrical herbs in, or what they call citric herbs in, and because they burn you more. And that's the thing about the pineapples and the grapefruit too. Make sure that you get them in a ripe stage for it's not too acidic, because they're gonna pull, but you don't want to pull all of them acids in one area and the kidneys ain't open up enough. So if you got cancer, just scratch the pineapples off the list. Now we got the antioxidants. The antioxidants are the oxygenators, and it protects the cells. These are your berry kingdom: blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, strawberries, mulberries, juniper berries, elderberries, cherries, which is a berry, goji berries when you get the hulls off of it, persimmons, bearberries, and we're going to scratch rose hip berries off of there, because I found out, due to my own research, my own laboratory findings, that rose hip is in fact a hybrid and it's acidic. All right, then you get over into the phytonutrients, the rebuilding part that's going to rebuild and energize the cells. Watermelon, muskmelons, cucumbers. Make sure that you skin the skin on them cucumbers, full of cellulose. Cantaloupe, honeydew melons, horn melons, bitter melons, winter melons, and honey globe melons, and papaya. Papaya is classified as a melon under the Afrocentric consciousness. I always eat the melons alone. All right, this is my healthy food chart, combination chart. We'll go over this tomorrow, because this have nothing to do with cancer, because I don't want you eating any of the things in yellow if you do have cancer, only the things in blue. And the things in blue we just went over in my last actual slide. All right, let me get up out of this. Get back on me. Hopefully y'all got some understanding, and overstanding on this lesson. If this lesson was fire and you like this and you want more of this, type in some 9s right now. And everybody that's online, whether you on my Facebook or whether you on my YouTube, like the video now. And if you on my YouTube, do yourself a favor, like the video now. And even if you just here to be a bystander, like the video because you stay here that long. Do me that favor, like the video. If you love the message, share this video. If you love the message, share the video. These things is going to keep stuff like this in the algorithm, and they'll be, less likely to knock me off next time because I'm growing my platform. All right. Now, what I'm going to try to do, not starting this month, but starting the beginning of May, every Tuesday and Thursday, I'm going to try my hardest to commit to go live. A lot of people don't know I'm going live because they're not showing y'all. They're shadow banning me. So starting the first Tuesday of May, I will be live on Instagram in the AM or in the morning time. Let me not say AM, but when the sun is out. And I will be live at nighttime on Instagram. Not on Instagram, but on Facebook and on YouTube. And I'm gonna do the same thing on Thursday. In the morning, I'm gonna be live on my Instagram page, and at nighttime, I will be live on my YouTube and on my Facebook. I'm gonna try to commit to that my hardest. Now, if I'm in between travels, because I'm always flying, I'm always in the air trying to build the community, then it's gonna be impossible for me to get to it. But I will most definitely make sure I do double that following week. It's time for me to start committing to y'all. And I know I commit a lot of times to y'all already, but a lot of y'all be looking for these healing lessons and stuff like that. So every Tuesday and Thursday starting May, I'm gonna try my hardest to go live from my IG during the day, and from my Facebook and from my YouTube during the night. So make sure y'all get ready for that. Mark it on y'all calendars. It's so many presentations I got for y'all, so many mini documentaries I got for y'all. We've been doing a whole lot of work, and we building a whole lot around here, y'all. So I love y'all. If you need any of my healing herbs, www.yakiawaken.com. The link is actually in the bio, and the link is in the description of this video. If you want to buy tickets to my awesome lecture that's going to blow your freaking mind on the 7th of May in San Diego, California, hit the eventbrite.com and click and get them tickets. Don't meet me there, beat me there. I love y'all. Peace, love, light, and healing. Peace to the gods. Peace to the earth. Peace.